go!
Well, hello everybody to my tiny little, a little bit overfilled workshop, and also welcome to the very first video on this channel. And I figured for the first video I would like to convert my 70cc project bike back to 50cc to get it checked, to get some license plates, or one license plate. And to get started, I'd say I would like to get everything off of the engine block, because unfortunately at this bike you can't really change the piston without taking out the whole engine block. So I gotta get rid of the exhaust, the bigger carb and the air filter. I also have to change the front sprocket. Got a 13 teeth sprocket on right now, and a stock one is the 11 tooth sprocket. Well, I think that's pretty much everything I've done to the bike to get more power out of it. And I also have to get the license plate holder on, and the stock carburetor and the stock air filter. Of course I also need to put the mirrors back on and the indicators. And I think that's pretty much everything I have to do right now. I also have to figure out if I can get it registered with the supermoto tires, because normally it has the enduro tires on. Well, I think I have to check, and then I can see if I have to change the wheels as well. But for now we're going to get everything off the engine block and get it on the workbench. And I think I'm gonna set the camera to time lapse. Let's see how everything works out. That's everything from that side off, I think. So the next thing we gotta do is to get that pack off and get the brake lever kind of facing that way, so we can easily get everything off right there. We also have to get rid of the coolant in there, because the cylinder is full of coolant, and if I take it off then everything will be full of that stuff. So I'd say I get everything of that side off, maybe the Kickstarter as well, and get the coolant out of there, and I hope I don't lose too much. So, as you can see, I've got all the coolant out, and at first I wanted to remove the whole water pump cover, but I didn't want to rip the gasket, so I decided just to get that hose off. So the next thing I'm gonna do, I think, is to, let me see, I think I'm going to remove the exhaust, because if I've got the exhaust off, I've got a better view to the carburetor, and as soon as I've got the engine out, I have to change the intake as well, because that carburetor is a little bit bigger in diameter than the stock carburetor, because that's a 24mm and the stock is maximum a 17mm, but I'm not quite sure. So as you can see, the front sprocket is off, as well as the shifter, so just the exhaust, and that's basically it. So let's do it. So that's the exhaust all taken off. The only thing I have to do now, I think, is to get the carburetor off and to get the clutch cable disconnected, but that's not a big problem. And I also have to get all those hoses off as well, and the spark plug. It looks like we're finished then, or we can take out the engine. Well, then let's take the carb and the hoses off, guys. So that's everything taken off the engine block, and it looks like we are ready to get the whole engine block out. So you just have to get rid of that screw there, that one, and there at the front, and that's basically the engine taken out. And I hope I don't have to put that plate off, because I think it was really hard to get it on there, but I'm gonna do that, and you're gonna watch me in a time lapse again. So, as you can see, the engine is out of the bike, and the bike looks kind of empty. To clean all that stuff out, change the carb, because now it's easier when the engine is out. And now we have to change the intake and the cylinder and piston. I'm also going to clean everything off there because it's quite dirty. And you could see I really struggled to get the engine out of there. And I think that's because when I put the engine in and out before, I didn't have the electric starter attached, so the engine wasn't that high. And now that the electric starter is on there, I think it got stuck there every time. And you could also see that I forgot to take off the spark plugs, or more or less the two spark plugs, because I had the normal spark plug in there and another spark plug in there, because I couldn't find a fitting screw, and the spark plug fit in there perfectly. So I just took an old spark plug, and I hope the microphone isn't that bad, kind of hung down there. Yeah, put another spark plug in there, because that's where the coolant is inside. That's the cooling chamber. And I think I'm gonna get the workbench cleaned a little bit, and then we're going to change the piston and the cylinder and the intake and stuff. And I also forgot to detach the cable to the CDI. I don't know how it's called in English, but we just call it CDI, the little box that tells when to make a spark. I think you know what I mean. So let's get started.
that I'm feeling? Is this love, is this love, is this love, is this love that I'm feeling? Is this love, is this love, is this love, is this love that I'm feeling? Is this love, is this love, is this love, is this love that I'm feeling? I wanna go.
So that's the engine cleaned off. Well, at least as good as I could or wanted to. But I'm quite happy with the results because that thing was completely black or brownish, grayish. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've got the other cylinder and piston attached and the other intake. I also have to get the oil pump attached, and I mean I can do that when the engine is on the bike. But I think that's gonna be it for me for today, and I think it's also going to be it for the video. So, now it's alright. Kinda got out of that thing here, like that. I put it back in. I think I'm gonna get the video edited today, and I hope I can even get it out today. If not, I'm gonna get it out tomorrow. And tomorrow is New Year's Eve, so I wish everybody a happy new year. I hope I can see you in the next video where I will put the engine back to the bike, and I have to do some improvements to the exhaust, to the stock exhaust, because it's not restricted. So I have to restrict it and have to build a restrictor, and I also have to get on the stock carburetor and the stock air filter. So it's gonna be quite a bit of work until we're finished, and then we can do our first test or startup, and I hope everything goes well, and I hope the bike runs well, and I don't have to mess around with stuff. And so I hope I can see you in the next video again, and I'm gonna say goodbye, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed it and if you want to stay up to date, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and to like the video so I know what kind of videos you would like to see more about. Then thanks for watching, and I hope I see you again in the next video. Bye!